Me, 63, owner of a commercial HVAC and mechanical contracting business in Akron, Ohio. Started the company at 26 out of a rented single-bay garage off Waterloo Road. Had $4,200 in savings, a used service van with 180,000 miles, and a toolbox my father-in-law gave me as a wedding gift. That was 37 years ago. Today, the company has 82 employees, 3 service fleets, and does about $14 million a year. Not bragging, just setting the table. Along the way, we bought property. First building was a small office and shop off Arlington. 1994, paid $180,000 for it. Second was a warehouse on the east side. 2001, $420,000. Over the decades, we picked up 4 more. 2 industrial warehouses, 2 office buildings, and a small strip mall on Market Street. The strip mall has a Chick-fil-A as the anchor tenant, which becomes important later. Also built up a stock portfolio over 30 years. Boring stuff mostly. ExxonMobil, Lockheed Martin, Procter & Gamble, Coca-Cola, some utilities. The kind of portfolio a Midwest guy builds when he doesn't trust Wall Street, but wants his money working. Last time I had everything appraised together, it came out to about $11.2 million. Commercial real estate, the business, the portfolio, the house, cash reserves. Wife and I own all of it jointly. Her name is Linda. We met in high school. Married when I was 25 and she was 23. She was the bookkeeper for the first 12 years. Ran the office, balanced the books on the kitchen table. She's the reason the business survived 1991 when half our contracts got canceled in a single month. Linda built it right next to me. We have 1 child, daughter named Chloe, 29 years old. Only kid we could have. Linda had a complicated pregnancy. Doctors told us we were lucky to get one. So Chloe got everything we had. Private schools from kindergarten on, $28,000 a year by the end. Summer programs, travel abroad, SAT tutors. Sent her to Oberlin College, $70,000 a year by her senior year. Then Columbia for a master's in public policy. Total cost, cradle to cap and gown, north of $640,000. Paid cash for all of it. Never asked her to take a loan. Never asked her to work a summer job. Linda thought she should get a restaurant job at 16 like we did. I overruled her. Said let the kid focus on school. Worst decision I ever made. Chloe never worked a single job that wasn't funded by grants, donations, or her parents. Summer at a nonprofit in D.C. Unpaid, we covered her rent. Semester in Cape Town, we covered the fees. After she graduated, she got hired at a place called the Equity and Capital Institute. Progressive nonprofit in Brooklyn. Her title is Wealth Equity Consultant. I still don't know what that means. She writes papers, goes to conferences, she's on podcasts about reimagining intergenerational transfer. Her salary is $72,000 a year. Rent in her neighborhood is $3,400 a month. Math doesn't work. Guess who covers the difference? Started dating a guy named Marcus in 2023. PhD candidate at the new school, something called heterodox economics. He's 32, been in grad school for 9 years, has another 3 to go. Has never held a real job. Refers to himself as a public intellectual. First time I met him, he told me my business was extractive. I asked what that meant. He said it extracted value from workers. I said the workers signed paychecks every Friday that I cut personally. He said that was the mechanism of extraction. I went outside and stood in the driveway for a while. Linda told me to be patient. For a long time, I was patient. This story is about the year I stopped being patient. October 2024. Just finished refinancing the last warehouse. Sitting at the kitchen table with Linda and our estate attorney, Wayne. Wayne's been my guy for 22 years. Did the trust paperwork when my mother died. Handles everything. We're updating our estate documents. Standard stuff. Revocable living trust, pour-over will, healthcare directives. Wayne, you both good with the current distribution? Me? Chloe gets everything except the charitable carve-outs. Linda, $2 million goes to Akron Children's Hospital, the rest to Chloe. Wayne, why the hospital? Me? My brother died there in 1978. I was 16, he was 12. Leukemia, The nurses there sat with my mom for 3 straight nights at the end. She never forgot it. Neither did I. Wayne writes it down. He's heard the story before, but he still writes it down every time. Me. So Chloe gets roughly $9 million after taxes. Wayne, more if the market keeps doing what it's doing. Linda smiles. She's proud of what we built. Wayne, have you talked to her about any of this? Me, not really. Wayne, you might want to. Sometimes when kids don't know what's coming, they get ideas about what they think is coming. I didn't understand what he meant then. I understand now. November 2024. Thanksgiving. Chloe flies in from New York, brings Marcus. They arrive at the house, carrying cloth grocery bags full of their own food. Me, what's all this? Chloe, we brought our own dishes. Linda, I made a turkey. Chloe, we're not eating turkey anymore. Marcus, the industrial meat system is ecologically untenable. Linda looks at me. I take a breath. Me, okay, make whatever you want. They unpack lentils, some kind of fermented grain, a vegan cheese shaped like a wheel. Dinner starts at 4 p.m. At 4:07 p.m., Chloe opens her first line of attack. Chloe, Dad, I was driving past the Market Street property on the way from the airport. Me, yeah. Chloe, you still have Chick-fil-A as the anchor tenant. Me, they've been there 11 years. Pay rent 3 days early, every single month. Chloe, do you know what they fund, Dad? Me, I know they fund a chicken sandwich that keeps my strip mall occupied. Marcus laughs, not at my joke, a different kind of laugh. Chloe, that income stream represents something. Me, it represents $11,400 a month plus common area maintenance. Chloe, that's not what I mean. I know what she means. I just don't want to have this conversation over cranberry sauce. Linda changes the subject. We get through dinner. After pie, Chloe asks me to come to the living room. She has a notebook. An actual paper notebook, which I find ominous. Chloe, Marcus and I have been talking. Me? Okay. Chloe, about the estate. Me? Your mother and I have that handled. Chloe, I know, but I want to make sure we're aligned on values. Me? Values about what? Chloe, about what the inheritance represents. Me? It represents 37 years of work. Chloe, I know that, but it also represents systems. Commercial real estate in working-class neighborhoods contributes to displacement. Your stock portfolio includes fossil fuels and defense contractors. The strip mall has an anchor tenant that funds anti-LGBTQ advocacy. I can't accept that uncritically. Me? What does that mean you can't accept it? Chloe, I want us to have a real conversation about restructuring. Me? Chloe, I'm 63 years old. I'm not restructuring anything. Chloe, then we have a problem, Dad. I go to bed that night at 9:30 p.m. Linda comes in at 10. Linda, what did she say to you? I tell her. Linda is quiet for a long time. Linda, she doesn't mean it like that. Me? She means it exactly like that. I don't sleep much. They fly back to New York the next day. The emails start the following Monday. December 2024. Chloe sends me a PDF titled Preliminary Questions for Family Wealth Dialogue. 14 pages. She wants to know tenant rosters for all commercial properties, demographic breakdown of my employees, pay scales by gender and race going back to 1995, the names of every stock in the portfolio, political donations I've made since 1988, contracts with any clients whose work she might find concerning. I read the PDF twice. Linda, what are you going to do? Me? I'm going to file it. I start a manila folder, labeled in block letters, CHLOE. Everything goes in that folder. Every email, every PDF, every voicemail I transcribe myself. I've been in business long enough to know. When someone starts making demands in writing, you keep everything in writing. I don't answer the PDF. I send her a short email. Chloe, your mother and I are not going to participate in this process. We love you. We'll see you at Christmas. She replies within 20 minutes. Dad, the fact that you framed it as a process tells me you know what's at stake. I'm not trying to attack you. I'm trying to save our family's legacy from becoming complicit. Linda reads it over my shoulder. Linda, complicit in what? Me, whatever's convenient this week. Christmas comes. Chloe doesn't. Cites a values misalignment in a text message. Linda cries for an hour. Marcus posts a photo on Instagram of them at some alternative holiday gathering in Brooklyn. They're holding hand-rolled candles. Caption says, reimagining kinship away from inherited capital. 1,400 likes. I screenshot it and put it in the folder. January 2025. She sends another document titled, An Ethical Framework for Generational Capital Transfer. Linda, is this a paper for her nonprofit? Me? I think this is a paper about us. With a case study. She doesn't name us, but every detail fits. Midwest family. Self-made patriarch in legacy trades. Portfolio with extractive holdings. Only heir is ideologically divergent from the accumulation source. The paper argues that heirs have moral standing to audit and redirect problematic capital. That forced dialogue about redistribution is not coercion, but care. I'm reading my own daughter publish a 22-page essay arguing that she has the right to audit my life. And I paid for her to learn how to write it. February 2025. She calls. First phone call in 6 weeks. Chloe, Dad, I want to come home. Me? Of course, when? Chloe, next weekend. I want to bring someone. Me? Marcus? Chloe, and a colleague. Me? A colleague for what? Chloe, to facilitate. Me? To facilitate what? Chloe, the conversation we need to have. I pause. No. You're welcome to come home. A stranger is not coming into my house to facilitate anything. Chloe, that's disappointing. Me? That's the answer. She doesn't come. She doesn't call again for 3 weeks. March 2025. She shows up unannounced on a Tuesday afternoon. I'm at the shop. Linda calls me. Linda, Chloe's here. Me? At the house. Linda, with Marcus and a woman named Rachel. Me? Who's Rachel? Linda, she has a clipboard. I leave the shop. Drive home in 14 minutes. Walk in the front door. They're in the living room. Chloe, Marcus, and a woman I've never met in my life. Rachel stands up. Me? Get out of my house. Rachel, I'm sorry. Me? Out. Chloe, Dad, she's here at my request. Me? Not my request. I said no to this on the phone. You showed up anyway. Rachel, you've got 60 seconds. Rachel gathers her clipboard. Marcus mutters something about de-escalation. I hold the door open. They're in the Subaru within a minute. Chloe stays. Sits on the couch like she's about to cry. Me? What is wrong with you? Chloe, I'm trying to have a real conversation with you. Me? You brought a consultant to my living room. Chloe, she's a mediator. Me? I didn't ask for mediation. Linda sits next to her. Linda, sweetie, tell us what you want. Chloe, I want to know what you're going to do. About the holdings. About the things I flagged. Linda, we're not going to do anything, Chloe. This is our life. We built it. Chloe, then I can't in good conscience inherit it. Me? Say that again. Chloe, I can't accept an inheritance built on these holdings. Not without restructuring. Not without public accountability. Not without a real reckoning. I sit down across from her. Me? What does a real reckoning look like, Chloe? She opens her bag, pulls out another document, titled, and I'm not making this up, Patriarchal Capital Audit Preliminary Findings. 14 pages. She hands it to me. I flip through it. She has spent real time on this. Tenant breakdowns, ecological footprint estimates, gender analysis of my workforce. Out of 82 employees, 11 are women. 9 are administrative or clerical. 2 are field technicians. This represents systemic gatekeeping in trade recruitment. I look up. Me? Chloe, I've been trying to hire women technicians for 20 years. They don't apply. When they do apply, I hire them. I had a woman apprentice named Dana for 3 years. She left to start her own company in 2019. I gave her a $6,000 referral of business to help her start. Chloe, that doesn't address the pattern. What pattern? Chloe, the pattern of a field dominated by masculine energy. I put the document down. Me, masculine energy. Chloe, yes. Me, We install commercial boilers. Me? Chloe. Chloe, Dad. Me? I want you to listen carefully. Your mother and I are going to think about what you've said. We're going to get back to you. In the meantime, I want you to go back to New York. I need some space. She expected a fight. She got something worse. She got a deadline. She hugs Linda. She doesn't hug me. Walks out, gets a rideshare. Linda sits on the couch for an hour without moving. I sit in the kitchen, staring at the 14-page document, underlining things in red pen, putting question marks in the margins, doing what I do when a contract comes in with language I don't like. I'm reading it as a contract, because that's what it is. My daughter just handed me terms. April 2025. I call Wayne on a Wednesday morning. Me? Wayne, I need a meeting. Wayne, everything okay? Me? I need to disinherit my daughter. A long pause. Wayne, come in Friday, 10 a.m. Friday morning, Wayne's office. I bring the folder. All 4 inches of it. Wayne reads for 40 minutes without saying a word. Finally looks up. Wayne, she's ideological. Yeah. Wayne, is she financially dependent on you currently? Me. We've been paying the difference on her New York rent. About $1,800 a month. For the last 3 years. Wayne, stop. Me. Stop what? Wayne, stop paying her rent. As of next month. That money is being used to fund her activism against you. I hadn't thought of it that way. Me? Okay. Wayne, now about the inheritance. Ohio has no forced heirship for adult children. You could disinherit her completely. Clean, legal, no challenge. Me? I don't want to just disinherit her. If I just cut her out, she'll contest it. She'll say we weren't competent. She'll make it about us. Wayne, you want something cleaner. Me? I want it gone. I want the money somewhere she can't touch it. Somewhere that she has to live with forever. Wayne smiles, and I realize I've never seen him smile like that. Wayne, you want a charitable remainder unitrust. Me? I don't know what that is. Wayne explains for 30 minutes. You fund the trust with appreciated assets. The trust sells the assets, pays no capital gains. You get an immediate tax deduction. The trust pays you and your spouse a fixed percentage every year for life. When you both pass, whatever's left goes to the charities you named. Once you sign the paperwork, it's irrevocable. Nobody can touch it. Not your daughter, not her lawyers, not a future court. Nobody. Me. And I pair it with what? Wayne, a donor-advised fund at the Akron Community Foundation. You name the DAF as the remainder beneficiary. Whatever's in the CRUT when you and Linda pass gets swept into the DAF. The DAF distributes to whatever charities you specified. Chloe gets nothing, because there's nothing left to give her. Me, the business. Wayne, the business is trickier. You can't liquidate it without putting 82 people out of work. But you can sell it to an employee ownership trust at fair market value. Proceeds go into the CRUT. Company keeps running. Employees eventually own it outright. Chloe still gets nothing. I sit there for a while. Me, Wayne, if I do this, she'll never forgive me. Wayne, she hasn't forgiven you already. She wrote a paper about you. She brought a stranger into your living room. She skipped Christmas. She's gone. You're just deciding what to do about the money now that she's gone. I drive home. Don't tell Linda right away. Sit on it for 4 days. Sunday night, I bring her a glass of wine. Tell her everything. She cries. Not sad crying. Angry crying. Linda, she doesn't get to do this to us. Me, she's already doing it. Linda, then we do it back. But we don't do it angry. We do it because it's right. We do it because the money deserves better than what she'd do with it. God, I love that woman. May 2025. We meet with Wayne again, this time together. We sign 40 pages of initial documentation. Letter of intent, trust formation authorization, asset inventory, valuation requests for every property. Wayne, you understand, once we start liquidating, it's going to be noticeable. Commercial real estate community in Akron is small. Word will get around. Chloe might hear about it. Me, let her. Wayne, you don't want to tell her first? Linda, she had her chance to have a conversation. She brought a facilitator. Wayne nods, writes something down. We go home. Linda makes meatloaf. Haven't had meatloaf since 1997. June 2025. Selling begins. Strip mall goes first, the one with the Chick-fil-A. Listed Monday, 3 offers by Friday. Sold in 11 days to a regional. Developer, $2.8 million. Money moves directly into the CRUT. Never touches our personal accounts. Never becomes taxable income. July 2025. Warehouse on Triplet, $1.6 million. Warehouse on Englewood, $1.5 million. Portfolio gets liquidated over 6 weeks. $3.4 million total, minus transaction fees. All of it goes into the CRUT. Wayne, you're going to get a tax deduction on this year's return. Significant one. Me, how significant? Wayne, your federal income tax for 2025 is going to be near zero. Me, huh? Wayne, that's how the vehicle works. Charity gets the remainder. You get the deduction now. The trust pays you 5% per year for life. Based on current valuation, that's about $460,000 a year to you and Linda combined. Guaranteed until the last one of you passes. I do the math. We'll pull roughly $10 million out of the trust over a lifetime. Plus the home, plus my salary from the business. We'll live the rest of our lives comfortably. And when we're gone, whatever's left in the CRUD sweeps into the DF. And the DAF distributes to Akron Children's Hospital Oncology Wing, 50%. A new trade scholarship fund at Stark State College for first-generation HVAC apprentices, 40%. Akron Community Foundation Discretionary Fund, 10%. Chloe gets nothing, because there's nothing to give her. August 2025. We meet with a business broker about the employee ownership transition. It's going to take 18 months minimum. I'm going to keep running the company for at least 3 more years. Then transition out slowly. When I go, the 82 people who built it with me will own it, not some private equity firm. The people who answered the phones at 6 a.m. and crawled under industrial HVAC units in 110-degree Ohio summers. September 2025. Time to tell Chloe. We invite her home for the weekend. She's suspicious. Chloe, why? Me. Because we want to talk. Chloe, really? Me? Really? She flies in on Friday. Alone, Marcus stays in Brooklyn. She's nervous, I can see it. She thinks she won. Linda makes dinner. I don't bring up anything over the meal. After dinner, I ask her to come to the home office. She sits across from me at the desk. I have a folder in front of me, labeled Resolution. Me. Chloe, you asked us to conduct an audit. Chloe, I did. Me. We did. I slide the folder across. She opens it. Top document is a letter from Wayne on letterhead, confirming that as of August 31st, 2025, the following assets have been transferred into an irrevocable charitable remainder unitrust. She reads down the page. Strip mall, sold, proceeds into trust. 2 warehouses, sold, proceeds into trust. Stock portfolio, liquidated, proceeds into trust. Total transferred, $9.3 million. She reads it 3 times. Chloe, what is this? Me. It's the resolution you asked for. Chloe, Dad, what did you do? Me. We removed the problematic holdings. Chloe, you sold them. Me. We did. Chloe, to other people who'll just keep doing the same things. Me. Yes. That's how the market works. Chloe. But the money's no longer in our hands. And it's not going into yours. Chloe, where is it going? I slide the second document across. The trust documents naming the charitable remainder beneficiaries. Akron Children's Hospital. Stark State Trade Scholarship Fund. Akron Community Foundation. She reads slowly. I watch her face. It takes her about 90 seconds to understand what she's looking at. Chloe, you cut me out. Me. We redirected the capital toward outcomes that satisfy the ethical framework you proposed. Chloe, that's not what I asked for. Me. Chloe, it's exactly what you asked for. You said you couldn't accept an inheritance built on these holdings. We removed the holdings. You said the capital should be redirected toward public good. We redirected it. You said you couldn't in good conscience accept it. Now you don't have to. Chloe, I didn't mean all of it. Me. You didn't specify an amount. Chloe, I mean we should work together on restructuring. We don't agree on what restructuring means, Chloe. I don't have the years to argue with you about it. So I chose for us. She's shaking. Chloe, what about my future? You have a master's degree from Columbia. You have a job in New York. You have a boyfriend. You have all the things I paid for you to have. Your future is yours to build. Like I built mine. Chloe, Dad, this is cruel. No. Cruel is having a daughter who refuses to come home for Christmas because her parents are complicit. Cruel is getting a 14-page audit of my life from my own child. Cruel is paying for someone's education so they can write a paper using us as a case study. This isn't cruel. This is us taking you at your word. She cries then. Linda's standing in the doorway. Doesn't come in. Chloe looks up at her. Chloe, Mom. Linda, I signed all of it, Chloe. Your father didn't do this alone. I signed every page. Chloe, why? Linda, because you hurt me, and I'm tired of pretending you didn't. Chloe leaves the next morning. Doesn't say goodbye. Flies back to New York. I stand in the driveway and watch the Uber pull away. Linda comes up behind me. Puts her hand on my back. Linda, are you okay? No. Linda, me neither. We go inside. October 2025. Chloe publishes a medium essay. Title: When Capital Chooses Punishment Over Repair, A Personal Reckoning. Doesn't name us. Everyone who knows us knows it's us. She writes that her family of origin chose spiteful divestment over dialogic engagement. That the decision represents the patriarchal instinct to burn down what cannot be controlled. That she is mourning not the loss of inheritance, but the loss of possibility. The essay gets 340 claps. Marcus doesn't share it on his social media. I noticed that. A colleague of hers from a nonprofit reaches out to Linda on Facebook. Says the piece landed badly at the Institute. Says Chloe is being quietly asked to reduce her public profile. Says some of her funders are uncomfortable. Linda reads me the message. Well, Linda, is that vindictive that I feel okay reading that? Me? No, it's just honest. November 2025. Chloe and Marcus break up. She calls Linda crying on a Thursday night. Tells her Marcus said he needed space to clarify his trajectory. Linda is quiet, supportive, doesn't say what we both know. Marcus needed space because there's no money coming. He was a grad student dating an heiress. The heiress part got canceled. The grad student moved on. Linda listens to her cry for 40 minutes. Doesn't mention the trust. After she hangs up, Linda, she's coming home. Me, when? Linda, not yet, but she's coming home. December 2025. Chloe does not come home for Christmas. Her podcast, which she started in October with 47 listeners, has posted 2 episodes and stopped. Linda sends her a check for $500 at Christmas. A card that says, "We love you." No response. Check gets cashed, though. I noticed that, too. January 2026. The scholarship fund places its first 4 recipients. I sit in on the selection committee as a courtesy. One of the kids is a 24-year-old named Manny Ortiz. Single father, 2 kids, works overnight at a warehouse. Wants to be an HVAC technician. Scholarship covers his tuition, his tools, and a $400 monthly stipend, so he doesn't have to quit his job. He comes to my office to say thank you. Shakes my hand. Manny, sir, I've never had anyone help me like this. Me? Someone helped me once. I'm just passing it along. He cries. I don't, not in front of him. After he leaves, I sit at my desk for 20 minutes, thinking about my brother, about the nurses at Akron Children's in 1978, about my father, who worked 2 jobs after my brother died to pay off the hospital bills they'd already forgiven. He never cashed the balance forgiven letter. Said it was a debt of dignity. I used to think that was stupid. I don't think so anymore. February 2026. Akron Children's Hospital dedicates a new consultation room in the oncology wing, funded by $250,000 gift from our DAF. They put a small plaque on the wall with my brother's name. In memory of David, 1966 to to 1978, who taught his family what mattered. Linda and I go to the dedication. Linda cries the whole time. So do I, finally. One of the nurses who worked with my mother in 1978 is still alive. 92 years old, came to the dedication. She remembered my mother's name without being told. Said my mother brought coffee for the night shift every single night for 3 weeks. I didn't know that. I was 16. I wasn't paying attention to what my mother did. I'm 63 now and still learning things about her. March 2026. I run into Chloe at a gas station on South Main. She's back in Akron. Didn't tell us. Living with a college friend, apparently. Working at a coffee cooperative. Making $19 an hour. She looks tired. Thin. She sees me before I see her. Comes over. Stands about 6 feet away. I'm glowing. Chloe, I'm back in town. Me? I heard. Your mother told me. You called her in January. She told me that night. We talk, Chloe. We always have. Chloe, I should have told you. Me? You should have. Long silence. The gas pump clicks off. She's still standing there. Chloe. Dad, I read the scholarship announcement. The one at Stark State. That kid, Manny. You mentored him in the announcement. That's nice, Dad. Me? He's a good kid. Chloe, I could have. She stops. Me? You could have what, Chloe? Chloe, I don't know. I could have been part of it. Maybe. Me? You could have. You chose something else. Chloe, I still think I was right about some of it. Me? I know you do. Chloe, does that bother you? Me? Not anymore. You're 29. You'll be 49 before you know it. You'll look back on this, and either you'll understand what happened, or you won't. That's not up to me anymore. She nods. Chloe, can I come to dinner sometime? Me? Call your mother. That's between you two. I'll be there, I'll eat. But it's not my call. She's the one you hurt worse. I get in the truck. Drive home. Tell Linda that night, in bed. Linda, how did she look? Me, tired, thin. Like life finally charged or something. Linda is quiet for a long time. Linda, I'll call her next week. Me? Okay. Linda, not to fix it, just to start. April 2026. Chloe comes to dinner on a Tuesday in April. First time she's been in the house since September. Linda makes chicken and rice. Chloe eats it. Doesn't bring her own food this time. Doesn't bring Marcus, obviously. Doesn't bring a framework document. Doesn't bring an audit. Just brings herself. She's quieter than I remember. Not repentant. Not broken. Just quieter. We don't talk about the trust. We don't talk about the essay. We talk about the coffee cooperative, about Linda's garden, about the weather. Most normal conversation we've had in 4 years. After she leaves, Linda sits on the porch with me. Linda, she didn't apologize. No. Linda, she's not going to, is she? Me? Probably not. Linda, is that okay with you? I don't need her to apologize. I need her to be a person, an actual person, not a walking framework. Linda, and tonight? Me. Tonight she was a person. Linda, do you regret it? Me. Regret what? Linda, the trust, the charities cutting her out. No. Linda, not even a little. Me. Not even a little. Because here's the thing, Linda, if I'd left her the money, she'd have spent the rest of her life either feeling guilty for accepting it or feeling righteous for giving it away. Either way, it would have defined her. She wouldn't have become anything. She would have just been the heiress with opinions. Now she has to become something. Something real. Maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. But the possibility exists now. Because the money's not in the way. Linda takes my hand. Linda, when did you figure that out? About a month ago, when I saw her at the gas station. She looked real. For the first time since she was 17. She looked like a person who was actually alive. Not a person performing. September 2026. 1 year after the reveal. Chloe has dinner with us once a month. She's still at the coffee cooperative. Still hasn't apologized. But she shows up. She brings a loaf of bread. She asks Linda about the tomatoes. She asks me about the scholarship kids. She remembers Manny's name. Last month, she asked if she could come to the next dedication at the hospital. Said she'd like to see the plaque for Uncle David. Linda said yes. I said okay. She came, stood in the back, didn't say anything during the ceremony. Afterward, she looked at the plaque for a long time, came over to me. Chloe, I'm sorry I didn't know him. Me? You wouldn't have. He was gone before you were born. Chloe, I know, but I'm still sorry. That was the closest thing to an apology I've gotten. It wasn't about the trust. It wasn't about the audit. It was about a kid who died in 1978 who she never met. But it was a start. That's the story. Feminist daughter audited my assets. I gifted the entire portfolio to charity. Not out of spite. Out of clarity. The audit was real. I took it seriously. She wanted the capital to serve the public good. I served the public good. Oncology ward at a children's hospital. Scholarship fund at a trade college. Community foundation in the city that built me. Exactly what she said she wanted. Just not with her name on it. And not through her hands. She got what she asked for. And lost what she assumed she'd always have. Those are two different things. She's learning the difference. Slowly. The way we all learn anything real. One conversation at a time. One gas station encounter at a time. The money's gone. The money's doing good. The daughter is becoming a person. The parents are still alive, still married, still in a house we bought in 1988. Still drawing a steady income from a trust. Still running the business for a few more years. Turns out the money wasn't for her. It was for David. For the nurses who sat with my mother. For Manny, who'd never met a man who'd help him. For the next 40 years of scholarships we'll never see awarded. It was for the city that took a 26-year-old with $4,200 and let him build something. And for the wife who built it with me. The daughter got 29 years of love, a world-class education, and the freedom to become whoever she wanted to be. She chose who she was. We accepted her choice, and we chose ours. That's what inheritance actually is. Not the money, the choice. She made hers. We made ours. The money went where it was supposed to go. Everybody ended up exactly where they belonged. The CRUT is irrevocable. The paperwork is signed. The money is gone. The daughter is home. Linda's tomatoes are coming in. And I'm 64 next month. Not bad for a kid from Waterloo Road. Not bad at all.